Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Boyce. I'm the Associate Principal here at Harlem High School. I just wanted to take a couple minutes to talk to you a little bit about remote learning and what you can do to make sure you're on top of things. The thing that we're really going to focus on today is Google Classroom because all of your classes should have a Google Classroom for you to get all of your class information and your assignments. I do want to say if you are learning remotely either 5 days a week or 3 days a week, that you do need to make sure that you're using your Google Classroom, but your best resource always is going to be your teacher. So if you have a question or a comment or a concern or an issue, contacting your teacher is going to be your best solution to finding what you need. The best way to do that, of course, is through email. I'll submit a video later, probably tomorrow, that will go over the best ways to email your teachers. But today, we want to focus on Google Classroom. So I'm going to walk you through a little bit just to kind of show you some different features of Google Classroom and what you should be looking for. Many of you are probably familiar with this, but we did just kind of want to give you a little bit of a refresher. Okay, so to go to Google Classroom, you're going to want to make sure that you're logged in to your Harlem Google account, which I am. So I'm going to go up here to one of my browser tabs and do classroom.google.com. That's going to take me, now I have a bunch of classroom classes on here because of my job, but I'm going to go to this class here, which is my computer and internet fundamentals class as if I were a student. Real quick shout out to Ms. Walenga for sharing her classroom with me and also for having the best Bitmoji of all time. So when you log into your Google Classroom, the first page you're going to come to is the stream. And on the stream is where you're going to find announcements. The announcements that your teachers submit are very important because they deal with your class and they go out to everyone. So as you look at the stream page, you'll see Ms. Walenga has two announcements for us in class. The first one is a reminder to fill out attendance, which of course applies for every day, and you're going to want to do that. And the second one says to click here for what you need to work on. At the beginning of each week, I'll add a new week's work. So now we have access to all of the work here set up very nicely for the computer and internet fundamentals class. So these, and you'll notice by reading this, it'll change every week. Now, every teacher is going to have a slightly different classroom, but the announcements and the things that apply to every single student are going to be in that stream. You'll also notice here on the left, if you look over here, it says upcoming. We have 3 things that are due Monday. So it's going to be important that we keep that in mind. So as you look at that, you'll see that show up. One thing to also note, those due dates should show up on your Google Calendar. So if you go to calendar.google.com and you're logged in under your Harlem email, you should see those dates, those due dates on there for you. That's a very nice feature. So I would suggest looking at your Google Calendar. I would show you mine, but I have a lot of meetings and stuff on there that don't really apply to this presentation, but you can get at your due dates through your calendar. The next thing you're really going to want to take a look at, apologies, it's the end of lunch apparently, is the Classwork tab. The Classwork is where you're going to get at all of this stuff. So you can see that there's 2 different headings. One is login information. So this just helps, for this particular class. And then this is another area of the course, computing fundamentals. Those settings aren't as important to you because your class is going to have different specific ones, but you can see that the due dates are listed here. Okay, you also have some options to copy the link if you want to put it in a document for yourself or something like that. But you would just simply click on any of these links and it would take you to those assignments. And then you can submit them right through Google Classroom. So that's going to be how your classes are generally structured in Google Classroom. There's not a whole lot of information because it's trying to get you right to your material. So again, I would recommend, if any of this is confusing, I would suggest you as a student should email your teacher with any questions. For example, if I don't like CFIC3 test, I know what that stands for. It's the computer fundamentals, and IC3 is an acronym for that particular class for a test that they take. But if you don't know what CFIC3 is and you click on it and it's confusing, send an email to your teacher, or when you're in a meet with your teacher, make sure that you ask that question as if you were in person, even though you're meeting virtually. So that's just a real brief, quick introduction to Google Classroom. Keeping in mind, pay attention to your announcements and then pay attention to your classwork. And that'll get you what you need. Before you ask any questions to your teachers about particular assignments, you should go into Google Classroom and take a look at them so that you can ask specific questions as opposed to like, what should I be doing? If you go into Google Classroom and there's hardly anything there, or it's not real clear what it is you should be doing, of course, that would be an appropriate question to ask your teacher. Once again, my name is Dr. Boyce. I can help you anytime you need. Send me an email. I'll be happy to respond. My email is Jeremy, Jeremy, .Boyce, Bois, at harlem122.org. Or if you're an in-person learner, I work in the main office. You can stop down anytime if you have any questions about any of your classes. I'm going to send out a couple more of these videos to talk a little bit about remote learning and different things that you can be doing. If you have a question on how to, operate through this crazy time in school, please let me know. I'll be happy to help. So again, check out your Google Classrooms. Make sure that you're communicating with your teachers, and we'll see you in a video soon talking about emailing. Stay safe out there and have a great day.